Sinungaling yan. Tsaka kabago-bago lang yan eh. Hindi nagre-research yan. Sabi mo, paano namin shortchange yung mga workers? Paano namin pinagdadamutan yung mga workers? I think 100 pesos, and that was the bill of Senator Mig Subiri when I was chairman of the Committee on Labor. Hindi namin shortchange. Siguro yung 100 pesos, that is an ideal amount na dapat makuha yung ng ating mga workers. Now,
let me start off with good news muna. For the 19th Congress, under the leadership of Speaker Martin Romualdez, I'm happy to report that the House of Representatives is now one of the most productive Congress in history. There was 11,506 House bills filed, 2,361 resolutions filed. From these, there were 347 adopted resolutions and 1,493 measures approved, 280 of which were signed into law. Unfortunately, 739 are still pending before the Senate of the Philippines for their approval on third reading. And these are not ordinary bills. They are urgent reforms sought by sectors across the country, and they are solutions to the most pressing challenges faced by Filipino families, workers, students, seniors, and OFWs. These are key life-changing bills the Senate has yet to act on. On social welfare and seniors, we have the universal social pension for all senior citizens to ensure no elderly Filipino is left behind. Expanded employment opportunities for seniors with incentives for private companies hiring senior citizens. Magna Carta for informal ambulant vendors to legitimize and support livelihood in every corner of our streets. On digital and basic services, we have cheaper and more accessible internet for all, especially for public schools and underserved barangays. We have the Public Telecom Refund Act, requiring telcos to refund customers for service outages and disruptions. Digital voting for seniors, PWD, and frontliners to protect suffrage rights of the most vulnerable. On jobs, livelihood, and worker protection, we have the Magna Carta for freelancers, securing payment rights for millions in the gig economy, mandatory insurance for line workers to protect lives of linemen powering our cities, tripartite council against job mismatch, aligning education with employment, expanded protection against discrimination in the workplace for women, LGBTQ+, and persons with disability. On health and education, the Philippine Center for Disease Control, CDC, to boost pandemic preparedness and health surveillance, mental health services in state universities and colleges, tackling the silent crisis among the youth, voucher system for poor but deserving students in private colleges to expand access to tertiary education. On OFWs and migrant workers, we have the OFW Remittance Protection Law to safeguard billions in hard-earned dollars sent home. Expansion of action and legal aid funds for OFWs. This is to give aid to distressed migrant workers abroad. The OFW Hospital Institutionalization Act for continuous healthcare to returning modern-day heroes. On environment and housing, we have the National Land Use Act to rationalize urban growth, food security, and disaster prevention. Balanced housing reform law to improve the delivery of socialized housing programs. Green Public Procurement Act promoting sustainability across all government transactions. And finally, transport, disaster, and governance, we have the Magna Carta for tricycle drivers and operators, a long overdue protection for our local transport frontliners. Free Freight for Relief Goods Act, the speeding aid delivery to calamity-hit areas and right-sizing the bureaucracy to reduce inefficiency and improve delivery of government service. The House has already passed 1,493 measures. 739 of them are still waiting in the Senate. These aren't just bills. These are pensions, internet, jobs, housing, and protection for every Filipino. The people cannot afford further delay. I am now open for other questions.
Thank you, spokesperson Abante. Let's begin with Tina Panganiban Perez from GMA 7. Go ahead.
Good morning po, Spokes. My gentle question is on the impeachment. Your statement po on the oath-taking of Senate President Chis Escudero last night as presiding officer of the Senate Impeachment Court, and this afternoon po scheduled ding mag-oath yung senators as judges.
Well, the House of Representatives welcome this development. Ginalaw na po ang baso. Nakinig na po ang Senado sa sa mga pahayag, hindi lang ng Kamara, kundi ng iba't ibang sektor ng lipunan. Inaantay, at again, handa naman na po ang Kongreso, ang House of Representatives, sa kanilang role sa impeachment trial. Nakapaghanda na po ang ating mga House prosecutors at patuloy na naghahanda at inaantabayanan natin ang formal na pagsimula ng impeachment trial.
Ma'am, but there's also the resolution filed by Senator Robin Padilla to kill the impeachment complaint because of lack of material time in the 19th Congress. Your thoughts?
Well, the Speaker has always said that he leaves it to the discretion of the Senate, no, on how they will act on the impeachment trial. But there are various experts and both from the academe and the legal sector that states na the senator judges cannot move to dismiss the trial on their own. So kung ano man ang magiging desisyon nila, ang hiling lang po natin ay maging faithful sila sa alituntunin ng konstitusyon. Because in a society that follows the rule of law, the Constitution will always be supreme.
Ma'am, last question ko po. May advisory po yung Office of the Vice President that VP-SARA is traveling to Malaysia on a personal trip with her family, just as yung gumugulong and gumagalaw na po yung baso sa Senate.
I believe the impeachment rules meron naman siyang nakalagay kung paano ang pag-serve at notify sa accused, no, but that ang requirement kasi dyan personal service, pero meron din namang nakalagay sa rules on what to do if personal service cannot be made. Ang importante, simulan na ng Senado yung trial para alam na din natin kung ano na yung magiging susunod na hakbang ng prosecutors at ano na ang mangyayari sa impeachment process.
Thank you, Tina. We will now take questions from Kat Porbes of Radio Pilipinas.
Ay, good morning po, Attorney Princess. Kanina po nabanggit po ninyo yung mga achievements ng House of Representatives pagdating po doon sa mga measures. Pero meron pong dalawang measures na apparently hinahanap pa po ng Senate daw sa atin. First po yung sa wage hike bill. According to Senator Joel Villanueva, hindi pa raw po nila nare-receive. Ano po ba yung status nun? And yung isa po ay yung sa BSK term extension na sabi po ni Senator Chis Escudero naman is kung hindi daw po ma-approve kasi ng Kamara ay hindi na po siya mapapagtibay dahil nga po hindi naman siya certified as urgent. Ano po ba yung status ng mga bills po na ito?
Unahin ko muna yun dun sa 200 pesos wage hike. Na-transmit na siya sa Senado kahapon. At meron na rin na ipasa ng mga pangalan para maging representante ng Kamara para sa bicameral conference. At nirirespeto natin naman kung ano yung magiging pagdedebate at magiging pag-uusap ng dalawang pulong tungkol sa magiging final na version para sa measure na ito. Pero patuloy po na maninindigan ang Kongreso, ang Kamara, na na House version ang mas makakabuti para sa ating mga mamamayan. Kung maaksyonan ito ng bicameral conference, handa naman ang Kamara para i-ratify ang magiging final na version na masisiguro, pero ito dapat yung masisiguro natin, yung sahod na patas na hindi dapat ipagpapaliban para sa ating mamamayan. On the barangay and SK elections, nakita ko din yung press conference ni Senate President Chis Escudero, and unfortunately mukhang misinformed si Senate President. And kaya rin naman ako nandito para siguraduhin na tama natin ang mga fake news at mga misinformation. Hindi totoo yung sinabi ni Senate President na hindi pa nakakapasa sa committee level yung bill na inaayos ang term ng ating mga barangay officials. In fact, kagabi ay naipasa na to na on third reading, including the sister of Senate President, na pinasa ito. Transmitted na rin siya, matatransmit na rin siya for the bicameral conference as well. And again, ready ang House of Representatives para ayusin, pagdebatihan, at ma-ratify lahat ng mga pending na mga measures sa bicameral conferences natin.